Okay. What a time. All right, look. I actually just went through, I punctured my coolant hose, so I'm about to go grab a replacement. I'm saturated up, and in the same essence, Eli just dropped his phone and shattered his phone. So, and the funny part is, I just dropped my phone this week and shattered it too. So we both broke our phone, oh, and the back. We both broke our phone in the same week. I just punctured my coolant hose after I said everything was good, but it's all right. Just gonna go get a replacement hose. They're pretty cheap, not a big deal. Eli, on the other hand, he's gonna fix his phone. I'm leaving mine like this until however long. I'm not fixing mine. So his day might not be looking as good as ours. But let's go.
Oh, sure. Hey, yeah.
So we just got the new GoPro set up. If you're looking at this one now, and hopefully there is a noticeable quality difference, I'm not sure yet, but this right here is a big shout out to my boy John Lord. He reached out to me and was just super anxious to help me out in whichever way I deemed would be like the best at the time. So we ended up upgrading some camera equipment. We got something else on the way. I'm gonna save that for later. But to my boy John Lord, aka Hootie, thank you so much, bro. We're gonna be filming on here from now on. This is a huge upgrade from the cameras I've had, even the one that I broke that was newer than the one I've just recently shot on. So without further ado, today I'm going to be trying to get in all my electrical stuff. So I got the hood open and we're gonna be wiring into the battery, and I pulled out my lithium batteries. So I took some time to figure out how they need to be wired up with my charger, and trying to get all the settings and the technical specs set up. Also, I kind of just did this makeshift panel right here. So there's gonna be a panel on the back of the seat. I just zip tied it in, kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. We're gonna mount the electronic items on here, like the charger, the breakers, and then my batteries will be down here. I'll run the inverter out somewhere. I haven't decided 100% yet, but we'll get everything ran. I'm gonna pull out my new batteries, so I'll be introducing y'all to some new equipment that I've also gotten. So let's go ahead and get to it. This is just one of the REDODO batteries. So REDODO sent me two 100 amp hour 12 volt lithium batteries. So this is gonna be what we wire the van with, but I want y'all to see the unboxing so y'all can appreciate the packaging of how they put these things together. So huge shout out to REDODO. They hooked me up with two lithiums. This tripled my power supply. So now we're gonna be able to run everything efficiently without stutter. So fresh out the box, you get everything in a nice little REDODO waterproof pamphlet. Now I've already looked through the other one, but I'll go ahead and show y'all what's in here. So you get your product manual. You get some nice REDODO stickers to support the brand. These just peel and stick. It gives you recommendations, or it tells you what to do, what not to do on maintaining the battery and hooking it up. Moving forward, you get these little M8. These are the terminal tips, or the terminal lugs. And it's nice because they give you these two, which you need, and then they send you an extra backup two, which is nice. And you get two additional washers, and a personal favorite, you get these lug covers. So once you put the lugs on, you got your wires, you just stick these on top, and it gives you just some extra amount of protection that I didn't have previously. So this is our REDODO battery, and I just want to go ahead and let y'all know. Watch this straight out the box. Matter of fact, one finger it comes out. Previously, when I had my AGM battery, deep cycle, non-lithium, it was so heavy it was ridiculous. This right here, you could tote around like a toy. In comparison, I can throw this around all day. So we're gonna have two of these, which is gonna give us a total of 200 amp hour lithium battery. Now with lithiums, you can use 80% of your capacity. So with 200 amp hours, that'll give us access to 160 amp hours of usable power. So that's great. This is plenty. Huge shout out to REDODO. And I'm gonna go more in depth once we have everything powered in, because we're gonna have a battery monitor, and it'll allow us to check our battery levels, how much power is being consumed by like our regular usage, and we'll just be able to monitor our overall power bank. All right, so I looked up a couple things. I was trying to figure out where the firewall is on these 93 G20s, and most people were saying they just put a hole in there, like drilled a hole in, so that way when they run any kind of cords from the battery to the interior, they're just creating a new hole somewhere where it won't really be disrupted. So I'm all in favor for that idea. I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put that hole at right now, somewhere that's kind of out the way that won't be messed with. So when I find that spot, I'm gonna drill a hole, and then we're gonna work on getting the wires from the battery to the inside. Just got under here, underneath the van, and y'all really can't see too much, but like right in this area, I can't really see on the camera either, but I'm gonna put 2 holes right here. It'll come out the center. This is an unblocked area. It'll go straight through. It won't interrupt anything that's already on the van. We'll have 2 holes, and we'll be able to run these 2 4-gauge wires from the battery to the interior of the van, and then that'll go straight into the DC to DC charger, which will charge the battery, and then from the battery to the inverter, and then that'll give us our power. So let's go ahead and get these holes drilled out and get our power ran inside. All right, look, I actually just went through, I punctured my coolant hole. This is an unblocked area. It'll go straight through. It won't interrupt anything that's already on the van. So I'm about to go grab a replacement. I'm saturated up. Just made it back. We got 2 sample pieces of hoses. One slightly bigger, one smaller. But anyway, this one should be a perfect fit. So I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to get this wire in. Eli's gonna come in here and take care of the hose problem. All right, guys, so as I'm pulling this wire through, I'm not doing the most in-depth explanation about this process because I'm pretty much just plugging and playing. Like, I'm unplugging from the Silverado, and I'm just kind of mirroring everything over on the van. So we got this wire loom, the stuff you just saw me putting the wire in. That's to protect it from the heat in the motor. So we got everything loomed. And it's gonna run under here, and then I'm gonna tuck this wire through the floor, and then that's how our power is gonna be inside. So this wire is gonna be protected, running to the floor. And I'm just gonna run it along right here where this power steering hose is running. Now I got this wire in, and I just need to pull it up to the floor. All right, so in the best way I can, I'm gonna show y'all that okay, so let's see. I don't know if y'all can see our hole where the light's coming through. So that comes out right here. Now I'm just gonna take our wires, run it up, and then it'll pull out right here. So we got the power in inside now, and I'm about to get that coolant hose replaced.
There it is. Where are those hoses at? Oh yeah. Right here, all we're gonna need is something to cut it with. Won't even be a major repair. I'll send you a bill. 3,800 bucks.
That's it.
There we go. Coolant's coming out. I need this thing to break free of. Maybe this end here. Okay, there we go. But away from you, not towards you.
Away from you, toward me.
Better you than me.
What I always say. So we got the hose repaired under there, if y'all can see the new one. So anyway, let's get back to wiring all the electronics. Okay, so for this DC to DC charger, this right here is going to allow the alternator to run extra power to my battery bank that's going to be down here. I'll set it up in a second. Now there are like a certain way to set these toggle switches to indicate what kind of battery setup you have. I got a lithium battery setup that is going to be like a 14.6 volt input or output. So I just set my switches up according to me. So I mean, we'll just kind of leave the technicalities of that alone. So I'm about to mount this up here, and we're going to run the wire that's going from the battery to the charger, and then from the charger to the battery bank, and then from the battery bank to the inverter. And that'll supply us power inside the van. All right, so our charger's in there nice and good now. And conveniently for me, the length of these wires is just perfect. So I'll be able to reach these wires exactly where they need to run. So I won't be doing any cutting. It's literally becoming more and more just plug and play, literally. So that works out for us. Now also, when it comes to running anything with wires, every time you have a hot wire, red wire coming out of any power source, you want to fuse it. So this wire is coming from the battery. We're going to put an inline fuse under the hood. I'll show y'all later. So that'll be the fuse going on this wire. So now that we're coming out of a new point, we're going to fuse this up going to the battery bank. So I'm about to run a wire out of here. We'll set up a breaker, like a breaker fuse, and then we'll run it to the wire, to the battery system. Alright guys, now I'll kind of try to explain what's going on right here a little bit, but I know it's going to be confusing for people who are not who don't know anything about wiring these deep cycle batteries, but I'll try to do my best. And it's in a confusing layout, so it doesn't help the situation. This is what we have here. This is coming off the battery, going to the battery charger, straight from the battery to the battery charger. Now from the battery charger, it's going to come out and we're going to send it to the batteries, so that way the alternator can charge the batteries. Now in order for me to connect these two batteries and make them, like, put them in sync in one unit, I have to wire them parallel, which means I need to run the black to the black and the red to the red, and that'll connect this and make it one unit instead of two separate batteries. So it'll combine it. Now from there, it's going to have, like, this right here is my black parallel wire, and then I'm about to cut one to where I can run one from the red to red. And like I said, that'll bring this together. And then in order to send, like, to go out of it in power, then you go from the red terminal off of one of them and the black terminal off the other. So that way, when you're sending power, the power's acknowledged as one unit. So I'm probably gonna wrap it up right here for tonight. I really wanted to make some more progress because it's been super rainy lately and it's been holding me back, and I've been wanting to get some progress on the van. I really didn't want to record like this, like it being late and kind of dark. I'd rather record during the daylight. But like I said, I really wanted to get some progress made, so I got a lot wired in. Still got a little left to go. I got to figure out which fuse we're gonna tap into, and I need to order 2 more lugs for this main battery. I need some bigger sizes, so I'm gonna order them, and then tomorrow we can come out here, figure out what fuse to tap into, pull out the multimeter, and I'll probably go over everything better in the daylight. But I'm gonna show y'all how everything looks right now. So we got our batteries wired in. This is our little miniature panel. I didn't run the fuse box like I did in the truck, so it was actually one less thing to run, but we kind of made up for it with running these batteries in a parallel circuit. Over here, I've got the inverter mounted right on the side of the chair, so it just hangs out right there. I screwed it in with some self-tappers, so that's where our power supply is going to be drawn from. And like I said, we're going to go over there, get under the wheel, and figure out what fuse to tap into, if we're able to use one from underneath there. And that's pretty much it, y'all. So like I said, I'm gonna wrap it up here, and we'll get up tomorrow and hop back out here. Hopefully those lugs can come in. If not, I might see if AutoZone has it or something, so I could just go pick them up instead of waiting on them to come. But either way, I'm gonna see y'all in the morning. All right, y'all, so we just got back from AutoZone, picked up the proper size lugs we need to hook this battery up. Let me get this hood up real quick. All right, so I got the right battery lugs. I'll go ahead and show y'all these. Got 2 of these, or 2 sets, so that way we can hook it up to the wires just about to plug into the battery. And I needed another one so we can go ahead and hook into the battery monitor. So I got 2 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and hook in here, and then we're gonna find what fuse to splice into, or wire, depending. And we should have power on the inside at that point. Here goes Amazon. I don't know what they're pulling up with right now. We about to find out. We can see. I hope. I see battery box. All right. Hey, John Lord, here we go. It just touched down. All right, thank you, bro. Just put the address on there, brother. Just cut it out. Y'all see that?
Son of a gun.
Hey, look, let's pull this out the box and get in the air real quick. Check them out, dude.
My hands are greasy. Grab that K-Run.
Also, we got the gifts in from John Lord. Here we go. Specialized ticket. The GoPro we're recording on now, and now we got this DJI Mini 2 SE. But I'm not gonna lie, I was just about to change them lugs, but now we gotta take an intermission and play with this. All right, y'all, we're back in action. Tried to drill this bigger last night to see if we can get away with it. Obviously, it didn't work out. So I'm about to cut this back and redo this part, hook it up to the hot, and then swap out this terminal for the 3/8 lug. And just in case y'all are curious what I mean, like the hole on this one's smaller than on this one. So we're just gonna swap it out, it'll fit on here, and boom. Alrighty. Perfect fit. Problem number 2 is this right here is the terminal bolt, and apparently it's just too short to be able to house both of those wires. So we're going back to AutoZone, and we'll pick up ones that are slightly longer, and then it'll allow us to hook up accessories the proper way. So I'll be right back with that. This is the old one right here, and this is the upgraded version. So this one allows us to hook up connections on the outside, which is going to be exactly what we need. So let's go ahead and put this bad boy on here and officially get everything wired up to the battery. You know, having it like this makes it really easy to mess with like having auxiliary wires, because if I'm hooked up right here, I don't have to disconnect the battery to like take one of these off. If I want to disconnect my power source, I could just take this one off, not affect the battery, and you know, it kind of simplifies everything. The next critical step, and the last step besides like cleaning the wires up and zip tying them, is I got the phone light down here. So it's time to climb down here, and these are our fuses. I'm trying to see if y'all can see. So we're gonna get under there, and with the multimeter set to 20 volts, we're gonna check the fuses, and we wanna see which ones have no power when the keys turn back, and which power is on when the keys turn forward. So right now, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna test them right here while the battery's off. So that way, or the keys turn back. So that way we know which ones are off or have no power when the car is not running or the truck's not running. And then I'll individually go through and we'll test to see which ones have power when you turn the key forward. Let me help get y'all up in here. It's a tight spot. So right here, I'm gonna run my my black. I'm just gonna touch a bolt over here that's off the frame probably, and then I'm gonna start tapping these fuses. So we'll do the first 3 right here, these 3. So I'll check this one. I see on my multimeter down here it's showing 0, which means we're not getting any power. The 15, this blue one, is also showing 0, and this red 10 is also showing 0. Okay, so now I guess we'll just do 3 at a time. I'll come up here, and I'll turn the key forward. All right, so now this is showing we got power to the van. So if this one, if the fuse is showing the same thing, that means when we turn the van on, this indicator wire that we're gonna run over here from the charger is gonna let the charger know that the van's on and to use the alternator to charge it. Okay, so let's do these 3 again. Running the first one. Let's see, maybe. Okay, so we got 12.2 volts on the first one, so that might be a good one. We've got 12.4 on the second one, and 12.4 on the third one. So actually all 3 of these is at 0 when the van's off and is at 12.4 when the van's on, which is what we want. So let's just double verify. Grab my bag of fuse taps. That's these right here. I put a variety pack in here so we weren't playing any guessing game. Because in the truck, I ordered one, it was the wrong one, had to order another one. And this variety pack was the same cost as buying one individually. So it looks like it's probably gonna be one like this, by the way these fuses look, but I'm about to pull this one out and we're gonna double verify it. So go ahead and pop that joker out. Let's see. And by the look of our fuse options in the bag, it appears that's the right one. Okay, so this is the 10. Now, you wanna, the one that was already pre-existing, the already fuse is gonna be on the inside. So let's pop that in here. And then we're gonna grab another 10 because I don't need a big fuse on this small indicator wire I'm running. If we even have a 10. If not, I'll just run an orange. It really doesn't matter. Just run one. Yeah, an orange, a 5 is fine. So I'll run that one in here. Let me flip it around. All right. Well, let me get in there a little more. And this is our fuse tap. So now we're gonna have this protruding out from where the fuse was at, and the wire, indicator wire that runs to the charger, we'll just put right into here, squeeze it together, and that will be how we get power in here. This is the last step, guys. Now it's plugged in, and that leaves us right with our little wire right here. So let's see if the wire that I already have attached to the charger is long enough to reach over here, because I want to run it and kind of tuck it away and keep it out the way, hidden. Might have to cut a new piece, but we'll see. So let's check it out. in dire need of some WD-40 for that. So this is the ignition wire I was talking about. It just goes in here, literally just an indicator. So this whole ordeal knows to work, or knows when to work. All right, and just like that, we're wired in. So now, the official test. Everything should be working fine. Everything should be wired in exactly how it should be. We're gonna go over here, and I'm gonna flip the breakers, the breaker fuses. We're gonna turn them on, so that way everything's getting power. We got our inline fuse right here under the hood. I swapped the fuse out because I believe while I was messing with the battery, I overcharged it and we popped it. So we got a fresh fuse in here. Everything's connected good to the battery. It's ran down underneath, through the floor, and then through the floor it comes out right into here. And then when it comes out of here, there's our first breaker. Let me loosen this. I did this as a little experiment. But first breaker to the battery, from the battery to the inverter. This is the breaker it runs through. Boom. So now I'm gonna go hit the key. When I turn the key forward, there's a green light. I believe it's this power, the one to the left. That one should turn on, and that'll indicate that everything's working properly. So let me go ahead and we're gonna go turn the key, and we'll come back and check it out. But when we turn the key forward, it should make like a little rev up noise, like a little so we'll be able to hear it if we listen close. All right. I don't know if y'all heard it, but I heard it. So the key's forward. So let's check out our light. And we've got green light, which means everything's working properly. It's not officially charging right now because the alternator is not actually running. Okay, so now it's time to introduce our 500 amp hour REDODO battery monitor. Now for this, I'll go ahead and show y'all what's in the box. Let me get y'all tilted down a little bit. So this is going to be how we monitor all our battery capacity and keep up with everything. I didn't have this in my previous setup, so this is going to be a significant upgrade, and really nice to be able to just see where we're sitting on power and keep up with that kind of thing, because it's something I would have liked to keep up with before, but I wasn't running a lot, so I didn't really need it per se. So this is our monitor right here, and this is our battery shunt. So we're going to wire this into the battery and the inverter, and there's going to be a charge cable coming off of this little green piece right here, and this is going to tell us what our battery level is at all times. But right now we need to calibrate it, so let's go ahead and get to that. Okay, now for this thing right here, I'm gonna have to wire in 2 more cables. We're gonna run one, I forgot which one it is. I believe this B negative is gonna go to the negative of the battery system, and this P negative is gonna go to the negative of the inverter. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up 2 cables. For this right here, we're gonna need 3/8 tips. That's why I got 2 packs of these earlier. We're gonna use some 4 gauge 3/8 terminal tips, connect it to the wire, rig it up on here, and then these are some regular 5/16 4 gauge lugs, and this will go to the battery and the inverter. Then we have our little power cable, and this is gonna hook up to the B plus, and we'll run it just to the hot on the battery system. So again, shout out to REDODO. They did sponsor this battery system. They sponsored my 2 100 amp hour 12 volt lithium batteries and this battery shunt right here. Make sure if you happen to buy these batteries right here, don't pay full price. Use code BIGNUGGET. You'll get 5% off. And like I said, these are the 12 volt 100 amp hour lithium REDODO batteries, the Group 24s. And if you want to check them out, I'll go ahead and link in the description. I'll put the Amazon, I'll put the official website link. It'll be down there, so just check that out below. Either way, let's go ahead and get everything wired in and get this initiated. I'm excited to try this stuff out, and also this lithium is definitely the way to go if you're gonna get a power source on a van or a vehicle or RV life, van life, etc. So I'm happy to have some lithium. And then voila. All right, now let's run this to the B negative, which is gonna be on this side. Seems like I might need the Allen wrench, the crescent wrench. Just break that loose. All right, guys, now we just got them mounted to the inverter, which is a really crazy spot that I'm not gonna be able to get to on, like, show y'all on camera. But I'm gonna go ahead and mount it in there, and then we'll just go from there. But just know I'm just running this other cord straight to the inverter, and that's all. This is the spot I was talking about, right in here. Just ran the wire to the inverter right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and connect this to our panel board, get it sealed on there, and then we will run our positive from here to the battery. I'll put that little piece on. It's a little small connector wire, this one. And then we'll run our long wire, our connector wire. This will go from the shunt to the battery monitor. And I'm probably gonna mount the monitor somewhere back here where it's easy for me to see at all times. So let's go ahead and get that on. All right, so we got it on here. Now, time to run our connector wire right to the hot. A lot of cable in here, so I mean, you could pretty much run this monitor all the way to the rear of the vehicle, which is a big pro for me. Go ahead and get this bad boy plugged in. And there we go. All right, guys, so it looks like I finally have the battery monitor set up properly. Now, this has been a lot of back and forth with me because I've never hooked up something like this before, and it's just really been an unexpected challenge. But now I've let the battery, okay, so the batteries are fully charged. I think I'm having problems with the settings on here and the instructions. I think it's a little weird, and it's not really, I don't know, to me it doesn't feel simple. To others it may. But on here, I will say this. Before setting this up, I've calculated my full battery voltage and my empty battery voltage, which my full battery voltage is 13.7. My dead, like when the battery's empty, it's 10.2. So I plugged that in here, but I had to figure that out the long way. There is an easier way, which would be to probably fully charge your batteries, measure the voltage after you let it sit and stabilize, then deplete it all the way down, then let it set and stabilize, and then get your zero voltage. I did the same thing, just in a long roundabout way. So we got our capacity set to 200 amp hours. We've got our full voltage 13.7, our zero voltage to 10.2, and that should be it. That's actually wait, other button. So this right here is our battery monitor set up. It's showing me that I'm currently drawing like 0.2 to 5 watts. Now that's just coming from this monitor itself when the light comes on. And it was just charging, but now it's fully charged. And if I go ahead and click the breakers back on, that one is to the charger. You see that it shows us a tiny amount of charge. That's really because it's already full, and it's just going to go up to 14.6 volts just because that's what the charger is sitting in the battery, not because that's what it's actually taking. So if we cut that off, we'll go ahead and break that breaker. It'll bring us back down to 13.7 where we're stabilized. And now if we go ahead, and this one's to the inverter, so we'll go ahead and turn that on, and it'll show that we are drawing. I'm gonna let it add up because I've got the fridge plugged in, the lava lamp, and the fan. So it looks like we're calculating about 1 amp per hour and about 14 watts of power. That's what we're drawing with the fridge, the fan, and the lava lamp by itself. So this is looking good. Our battery monitor is finally set up. Like I said, guys, I don't know why that was such a complicated system for me, a complicated thing for me. Part user error, part I feel like the instructions could be better, and that's just me. This is my first time messing with a battery monitor before, and it just threw me some challenges. So it took longer than I was expecting, but I'm very satisfied to see that it's finally working properly, because this was really frustrating out here. I'm in the heat trying to figure this out. I mean, I'm sweating, dying, trying to diagnose electrical stuff. Man, not a fun time, but I'm glad it's set up, and I'm glad to move forward from that. So anyway, I guess after this, I'm gonna tidy all the wires up, make it look a little more neater, but everything's wired in the right way. I'm really proud of this. I'm really proud that we got this set up. This is the REDODO battery monitor, a good little deal. So I think this is about 60 to 70 bucks. Not bad. To be able to use this and monitor your battery capacity is it's gonna definitely come in handy for us. If I was just using my old 100 amp hour Renogy AGM battery, then I probably wouldn't have went with the battery monitor, really, because it's not enough power for me to need to have a monitor on, because I can monitor it on my own in my head and kind of pay attention to how often I'm running the van, what I'm using. When I was in the truck, that's how I would keep up with all the power usage. I just monitor what I would have plugged in for how long. But now that we have such a big setup or a larger setup, it's nice to be able to monitor your battery constantly. And since we're going to be running more power, having a larger battery bank means we won't have to run the van every day. So that's what I was looking forward to with the upgraded REDODO system. So I'm gonna wrap up on this video portion right here, just because I want to go ahead and try to get something out. And moving from here, we're gonna be working on more interior. It's super messy in here, so I'm really anxious and I'm ready to go ahead and get it cleaned up and put everything together. Once again, shout out to John Lord. Thank you so much, my man. Now my video and audio quality is coming out so much better with this new GoPro, and it gets me that much more excited to hop out here and record. But look how messy this is, y'all. It's just crazy in here. It looks worse than it actually is. It's just a bunch of stuff stacked on top of each other. But in the next video, don't worry, we're gonna be tying up a lot of that stuff, and that's gonna be tomorrow. I know I've been behind, but weather's been crazy. Messing with this electronic system's been its own event. I've also decided that I'm gonna paint the van. So if you wanna see how that comes out, make sure you stay tuned. It'll be coming probably within the next 30 days. I wanna say within the next 2 to 3 weeks, but who knows? Y'all just make sure y'all watch the journey, stay following along, subscribe if you haven't already. Look, if y'all noticed, I cut the edge of that mustache off. I cut it because it wasn't growing symmetrical and it was bothering me. So we got it off, and I know some people are gonna be pleased, some people won't care, but I do kind of like it without having to do all that extra stuff. But anyway, if you've ordered something off Amazon or sent any packages, don't worry, the next video we're gonna be opening them up. If you want to know where to find something to send, I will be leaving here in a week and 1 day from now. So I will have my Amazon wish list in the description below. Also, all my links are going to be in my bio or my link tree. So check them out if you want to, or if you're interested in supporting somehow. Otherwise, guys, I'm leaving here in a week, next Thursday. Today is Wednesday. And after that, I'm going to be on the road officially. So no more mail and back to adventure. Either way, guys, it doesn't matter if you're just watching and you made it this far. I love you and thank you so much for the support. That really means the world to me, and it really makes a difference on the channel. So as always, if you made it to the end, thank you for watching. If you're new, welcome to the family. This Big Nugget, and I'm out.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall.